So you all are definitely going to get a 2-for-1 today because I'm working diligently to get all these reviews done, and I figured I'd take a Sunday to try to get as many reviews as possible done. Now, the show Ahsoka was actually a pretty interesting show. I know that it had its, I guess, detractors, so to speak, but it was pretty faithful to what we saw in Star Wars Rebels in terms of the overall characters. I mean, I guess if you had to put them in live action, this is as close as they can be to the actual Star Wars Rebels animated show, which was absolutely fantastic. And I have to admit that I had to swallow my own words, because I thought because it was an animated kind of cartoon, I didn't really take it seriously initially until somebody forced me to watch it, and I thought it was absolutely mature and complex and just a wonderful series or entry into the Star Wars universe. I personally liked Ahsoka very much, and I have to say that it really did kind of redeem some of the portrayals of the characters that we had seen in the prequels, and I guess gave them more depth. I like some of the themes that they explored in Ahsoka, especially as it relates to Anakin and his Padawan. That dynamic, I think, that was never really explored, and I think that was perfect. And of course, one of the great things about the show is that it really introduced into live action two amazing new characters. Now, I instantly fell in love with this character when she debuted in Ahsoka. There was something so mesmerizing and cool about her. Now, I have been waiting patiently and diligently for this one, so today we're going to be reviewing Hot Toys' version of Shin Hati, the 1/6 scale figure from Ahsoka. Let's take a closer look. When I heard this was going to be announced, the first thing I said is, please do not make rooted hair, and they didn't disappoint. The hair is sculpted here, and it's absolutely fantastic. She kind of looks like Prison Valiant. Now, the facial sculpt here is amazing, and Shin Hati, the actress who plays her, has some very particular, beautiful, mesmerizing eyes. It's one of the things that really drew me to her in the show, and it's just absolutely outstanding. I love this head sculpt, and it does have the purr system so that you can move them independently, which is always awesome, although, of course, be careful. Again, I just want to kind of like emphasize the eyes here. Absolutely fantastic. And something that I didn't notice until I got this figure is that she does have the like kind of Padawan braid, which is pretty ornate here. It's really cool and really well done. This head sculpt is brilliant. I absolutely love the way this looks. So many unique aspects about this figure, and one of the things that I really like about just the overall armor set is how medieval it looks. It really looks like something you would see in like a medieval knight, or even in Elden Ring, just some of the armor sets. Now, the actual cloth and textures are just outstanding. This is a Hot Toys figure, of course, but really what I love here is the armor set. There is this high kind of gunmetal polish to them, and just look at how intricate they are. I mean, this is just absolutely outstanding. Again, really influenced with that medieval kind of like armor set. Everything is done very well. There's a nice wash on them. The cloth and the materials look fantastic. Textures are really well done. And the color palette, of course, it's got this kind of like opaque, off-center colors, very muted and subtle, but powerfully done at the same time. Again, those side armors are just very well done. I gotta love how she looks. It just is just a very unique kind of Sith Jedi. I'm not sure what she is exactly. The lower section of this piece is equally impressive in terms of the cloth and the materials that are used. It's not cheap at all. I love how it looks almost Templar-esque in the historical record, which is really fantastic. Now, one of the things that I really was impressed about this figure, particularly in the lower section, is of course the armor set. But most importantly, the ball joint system here is absolutely outstanding. I mean, I really can't talk enough about it. There is so much flexibility, and here you can see how they integrated it. Look at the ball joint system, and look at how flexible this is. So this character, you can do some really astronomical poses, really dynamic poses. You can really go crazy. I mean, there is an incredible amount of flexibility here, and kudos to Hot Toys for just engineering this figure this way. It's absolutely outstanding what they did here. So unfortunately, guys, normally I do the whole lightsaber thing and light it up, and I couldn't do it this time. I forgot the USB kind of like adapter to plug this thing in, so sorry about that, guys. No lighting feature here. But I do love her lightsaber. I mean, this is very ornate. I like the hilt. they're always very impressive. There's this nice silver finish with it, and it's offset with this white on the handle. The actual saber itself, it does have this nice particle effect in it, so when you light it up, it does look pretty spectacular, and it is very bright. I was able to light it up after the fact. I just wasn't able to film it. I wanted to make sure that it was working. Now, because of the cloth or the cape on the back, the cloak I should say, you can hide it a lot easier, but this thing is just spectacular. Now, you don't necessarily have to run out and reverse this piece, although I will say that her cloak is very spectacular, and what I like about it, it's not a pain in the ass to kind of put on. Now, the sculpt in the hair is absolutely fantastic. You can see how very well sculpted it is, and I love that color. But the cloak is probably the most important thing here, because it does add another layer or another display option. Great folds here. It has the wire mesh, of course, so that you can manipulate it. I like the bottom of it because it does have this kind of like roughed, like obviously that she's worn it in battle and whatnot. So it's done very well here. But again, you don't really have to mirror this piece. Not too much going on, but the cloak is important. No real surprises here. This is not an extra crispy or extra spicy version, so to speak. So you get the standard hexagonal slab for the Star Wars figure, which I can't complain about. Again, I like the fact that, as you can see, she perfectly fits on the base, so she's not kind of like offset or anything like that. On the lip of the base, it does read Star Wars, and of course the name of the figure, Shin Hati, which is absolutely spectacular. I always forget to take the kind of like plastic off of this, but nevertheless, we do have it, and it looks great. Now, Shin Hati doesn't come with too many accessories, but it does come with really one cool one, and I like the way that you can accessorize this with the figure. It does come with her little probe, which is really awesome, and you know, it reminds me a lot of Sputnik, or something that you would see in the Fallout series. This thing is really cool. It's done in a really high silver finish. It's got that little red eye and the 3 antennae, which looks fantastic. It's got this clear kind of like acrylic pole that you can attach to the actual base. Would have been cool if the base was kind of clear too, but whatever, we got what we got. Of course, the other additional accessories is the non kind of wired lightsaber, which is pretty ornate, as you can see. And of course, we have the wedge effect, which I never use. I'm gonna try to get better at this, guys. But I want to show you how ornate this lightsaber is. The color palettes, like I said, that high finished silver offset against the actual white handle, and then the very unique hilt is really fantastic. Again, these accessories are done so that you can do numerous poses, and you can certainly do a lot of them with this figure. Now, rounding out the last bit of accessories, of course, is 4 additional hands for various poses, and go nuts with this figure, guys. The actual costume and the ball joint system really allows you to get really spectacular with the dynamic poses. And the arms are incredibly flexible, as you can see the way that I have it posed. This is just a fantastic figure, and I'm actually so impressed with this. I'm definitely going to display this in my office, I think, because I really like the way it looks. So not only did I fall in love with this character the minute that I saw her, she was just freaking cool, had an amazing presence, but her counterpart, which I'm going to get in the studio as well, is equally impressive. So I have to say that this decision absolutely required no gray matter. This is easily a holy grail piece. This is just an amazing figure. I'm so glad that I have this in my collection. Like I said, this thing is just super awesome. So if you can pick her up, definitely get her, because this one is freaking cool. Alright everybody, so that's my official review of Hot Toys version of Shin Hati from Star Wars Ahsoka, the 1/6 scale figure. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next RAUDEZA Reviews. May the Force be with you.